A fashion designer living here in Ireland, and today I'm joining you with Iconic Offices to show you how to make a small tote bag with things that you might have lying around the house or in your wardrobe. And this is all a part of their Iconic virtual events, which is available to their online virtual community. So I am going to be using an old dress of mine. So it's got a nice gingham pattern, and it also has kind of a big enough surface for us to kind of cut a large enough square or rectangle, we're not too sure on the shape yet, and that we can get from it. But this will work easily as well if you have an old towel, an old blanket, an old like little rug, anything like that. So the bigger the surface, the bigger the bag will be. And then along with that, you're going to need something to mark the fabric with, so something that comes off easily or else you can't really see through it. So I have misplaced my chalk that I should be using, so I'm going to use this fine tip black marker because this is a black and white fabric as well, so it shouldn't come through too much, but I'll be able to see where I'm marking. You're going to need a ruler, some thread, scissors that is good enough to cut through fabric. You're also going to need some pins and obviously a needle to go with your thread. And then if you can, this isn't essential, but if it just helps when you're cutting, some sort of weight. Now I have an actual weight, but you can use books or bottles, anything like that, just to hold the fabric in place. So we're going to start off by laying out your chosen garment flat. So obviously the biggest surface for my dress is at the bottom. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut off, because it's elasticated in the middle. So I'm just going to cut underneath that elastic and see how much fabric we have to work with. Okay, so I've cut that off. I'm going to leave the top part for later because we're definitely going to need to use that probably for the straps. And this is how much I'm left with on the bottom. So I'm just going to measure out what I can fit into this fabric, and I'll let you know the measurements now. Okay, so I've just measured out there. So what I'm going to be doing mine at is 49 centimeters lengthwise and then 40 centimeters widthwise. So I'm just going to measure that out now and we can cut it out. Okay, so I've measured that there, and just note that when you are marking it in, you also need to leave 1 centimeter seam allowance, and you also want to make sure that you have double layer fabric because you're going to obviously need a top part and a bottom part for the bag. So I'm just going to use my weight now to place on the fabric so that it doesn't move, and I'm going to cut out what I've marked now. Okay, so now we have our fabric cut. You just have to sew around the edges. So if you want the opening to be the widest part, that's fine, or else you can turn it around and have it more as like a long tote bag. This is totally up to you. I'm gonna have it with the long end at the sides and the short end at the top. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm just gonna sew down the side seams here and then at the bottom as well. So before you do sew though, make sure that the right part of the fabric is facing down. So this is the top of my fabric. I'm going to place that down, and then this here is the top of my fabric. So I'm going to place that up. So one side is going to be facing up, the other is going to be facing down, and you're going to lay them on top of each other so that both of the right sides are on top of each other. This is just so when you've sewn the seam allowance on the sides, you're going to then turn it inside out and then the fabric will be right way up. So just pin the fabric down in place and then you're going to sew in on those 3 seams. Okay, so everything is pinned now and I've left the top part open because this is our opening of the bag. and I'm just going to sew around, so you can just use a thread and needle if you have it. I'm just going to sew it up really quickly as I have a machine, but you can do this by hand. Okay, so we've just sewn the 3 sides there, so this is what it should look like. And again, here is your opening. This is still wrong side up, so the inside is the right side. But what we're going to do now, so you could just have a flat tote bag and then you just have to put your straps on. But what we're going to do today is we are actually going to make a little tiny base for the bag. So what I want you to do is go to one of the corners, and I want you to pull like that so the point is sticking up. So this is what you're going to do. You are going to measure from the point up to, let's just measure it here, up to about 8 centimeters from the point, and you're going to mark that. So once it's laying flat after you've marked it, I want you to draw a line all the way across. Once you've drawn the line across, just pin it down to keep everything in place. And this is what it should look like. So that is the bottom part seam, and then this is where you have drawn 8 centimeters from the tip to here. So that is going to give you that wide a base on the end of the bag. So once you've done it on one side, do it on the other side. Okay, so once you've pinned both sides, you're going to sew across that line that you drew, and then I'll show you what to do next. Okay, so now I've just sewn those there, and you're going to be left with this excess fabric. You can just cut that off. So cut it off on both sides. And now when you turn the bag right way round, you are going to be left with these nice little ends. So see the way that's giving me a square? Well, rectangle, sorry. So that is that. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go back to the rest of the fabric that we kept from the top of the dress, and we are going to measure out straps. So again, these can be whatever length that you like. It's totally up to you. This is for you to get creative and make a design that you want to do. Okay, so I'm going to measure mine now, and I'll let you know what we can fit onto this fabric here. Okay, so what I've done is I've just measured out what I can fit onto the rest of the fabric. So I have measured out 12 centimeters width by 47 centimeters length. So we're going to cut it out now, but just make sure again that you have your double layer fabric. So you're going to have basically 2 things cut out afterwards. So now I have 2 pieces of fabric cut out here. So these actually won't probably be long enough. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold the fabric in half, and I'm going to cut down here. So I'm going to have 2 pieces from this. I'm going to do the exact same, fold this side in half, and I'm going to cut down, and I'm going to have another 2 pieces. So there's going to be 4 pieces in total, and I will show you then how to make the straps. So now I have 4 strips here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to make one long strip with 2 of them. So I'm basically going to place one on top of the other, again making sure that your 2 right sides of the fabric are facing in towards each other, so that when you've sewn the top, when you turn them over, it's going to be nice right side facing right side. So I'm going to sew them here. I'm going to pin these 2 together on the top, and then same with the other. And I'm going to sew the 2 tops of them and I'll show you what to do after. So I've sewn the two parts together and it's basically made one long strap. So this is going to be one of your straps, and then you're going to have your second one here. So then the final thing that we need to do with the straps before we can attach them to the bag is we are just going to fold this one strap in half, again with the right side facing upwards, and you're just going to fold and pin the whole way along the strap. You just sew the long end here and you leave both of the shorter ends open. So the reason you do that is because you're going to turn it inside out on itself to have all of the seams on the inside and have it looking nice on the outside. The easiest way to do this is to get a safety pin and just attach it to the end of one of the sides, and you're going to feed it in through itself until it reaches the other end. Okay, so now that we've finished our straps, we have got the base and we've got our straps, so we're just going to attach them together. So what I have done here is I've just turned the open part of the bag in about 2 centimeters and I've just ironed that down. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the straps, and wherever you want to place them, I'm probably going to place them about 11 centimeters from the side seam, but again, totally up to you. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn back the end so you can see there that it's a little bit like frayed here. So I'm just going to turn that back, again about 2 centimeters, and I'm going to put it on the inside of the bag. So here is my inside, that's the part that I folded down, and I'm just going to put it on the edge of where I folded down so that when I sew these down, I'm going to sew that edge with it, the edge that I've just turned in on the top. So I'm going to do that now and I'll show you how it looks. So I've just finished off by sewing along the top there, making sure that I catch the straps in as well, and this is the final look. So thank you guys so much for following along. Again, there's loads of steps in here that are optional. You don't have to do the base, you can even put in a lining, whatever you want. Just get creative, do whatever you want to do. It's your design, it's up to you. Just have fun with it, and if this is something that you guys want to try at home, we would absolutely love to see what you've done. Just tag at Iconic Offices for us to see all of your nice fun tote bags. Thank you.